Howdy folks, I'm Smart Southern Broken Dash, skillfully solving strenuous strategies.
I'm Amber.
And here are more strenuous strategies for us to solve, but it turns out that there was no solving needed, they were just Reddit stories. So let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Friend to Stop Turning Every Hobby into a Business? My friend recently got into painting, and she's actually really good. A few weeks in, she started talking about selling her art online, printing it on merch, starting an Instagram page, and all of that. And I casually said, you don't have to monetize every hobby, you know. It's okay just to enjoy something without turning it into a business. She kind of got annoyed and said that I wasn't being supportive and that I was projecting my own fears of success. I told her that I am being supportive. I just think that it's okay to do something for fun without stressing over followers, branding, or sales. Also, she's the type of person who gets easily stressed over small things. Now, things are a bit weird between us. Am I the jerk for saying what I said? Edit to clarify, since some people are saying that I am unsupportive or toxic. I actually have supported her trying to turn her hobbies into businesses before, including last time when she tried starting one. It became incredibly stressful for her to the point that she had to start seeing a psychologist because of the pressure and deadlines that she put on herself. I was there throughout all of it, helping her to pick up the pieces emotionally. So when I say gently, you don't have to monetize every hobby, I wasn't being condescending, I was just being realistic based on her past experiences. I just want her to be happy and enjoy painting, and I just didn't want to turn it into another source of her anxiety. That's literally it. I guess the wording may have come off wrong, but the intent was out of care, not negativity. Just wanted to add that context. Alright folks, what do you think?
I mean, the added context kind of changes everything because when I read the original post, it was definitely seemed like almost like a sour grapes thing, like, hey, you don't have to monetize everything. But if the friend is getting stressed over these business attempts to the point of needing therapy, like, that's a problem. And I don't know how to intervene. Like, that's something for her probably to talk about with her therapist. I understand OP trying to like step in and be like, hey, maybe we should take a step back, but if she's not receptive to it, there's not much you can do.
Well, I mean, I think some of it too is I think OP is right to voice their concerns, right?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe the way they phrased things here wasn't necessarily the best. I think they could have said it in a more diplomatic way of like, hey, I just want to make sure that you're taking care of your mental health through this. I'm concerned because last time you kind of burned yourself out. I was wondering if there's anything that I can do to help support you, to help you not get burnt out this time, or what steps are you taking? I mean, I guess like that's not OP's place to be like, what steps are you taking to not become burnt out? But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, well, and it's tough to know what exactly to say in the situation because I have a feeling she probably wouldn't be receptive to anything OP could say.
Yeah, that might be the case. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Today I Messed Up by Playing a Joke on My Friend's New Live-In Girlfriend. He has been seeing her for a few months, and she recently decided to move in with him, which he's super happy about. Well, a couple of weeks ago, he mentioned in confidence that she saw a rat running around outside of her apartment building and was super worried about a rat infestation. Anywho, she moved in today, and I went to visit. Well, I dropped a couple of raisins on the kitchen floor after he had spent a week diligently cleaning everything. And then I said, oh my goodness, is that rat poop? She immediately freaked out, grabbed her stuff, and started to leave. I confessed that it was me, and it was just a joke. I even picked up one, and I ate it just to prove that it was all safe and good. She was aghast and blamed him for making fun of her. She has left and refuses to return. He told me to get out, and now he won't talk to me, despite me apologizing to both of them. Yeah, I get that maybe it was a bit insensitive, but I thought that it was really funny seeing the look on both of their faces. Still sad outcome. Sigh. Alright folks, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, OP, why would you do this? Like, I don't know why you would think that would be a good idea. It does seem like a very immature joke, and also something like maybe it would have been different if this was someone OP knew well, but like this is someone you've never met before, and you're playing on one of her big fears right there.
I mean, I don't know. Did OP say this was her first time meeting them?
I thought it was like early time, like it was the new girlfriend. Like maybe they've met them before, but it doesn't sound like they're good acquaintance. It sounds like they're barely acquaintances.
Yeah, well, I think that OP admits that this was a mess up, and so I think that's kind of important to recognize that they realize that they've messed up here, right? But I think that hopefully this is a valuable lesson for OP to kind of not share things even jokingly that have been said in confidence, right? And I mean, I think I'm a little confused about some of the wording in here. I couldn't tell. I read it as it was her apartment, but it might have been OP's apartment, OP's friend's apartment too. It's hard to say. Like, I kind of got the impression that it was her apartment that had the rat infestation, in which case it really kind of puts it into the light of, oh, I'm making fun of the fact that her apartment had a rat infestation and now it's following her or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that could be. I don't remember the exact wording, but it just feels like, probably from her perspective, it feels like he's like making fun of one of her. Oh, he's playing off one of her fears,
Yeah.
Like she's
Yeah.
very afraid of these rats, and here he is like, oh look, more rats.
Rats. Yeah, it just is in poor taste. And I think that hopefully OP kind of realizes in the future that this is just not funny, that most people aren't going to find this funny, and you have to probably have a different sense of humor than what OP has. And yeah. I mean, and also, like, it's very close, right? Like, this isn't 10 years down the line type of thing where they've never seen a rat or anything like that, right? This is something very recent and very fresh. And so it's really hard for people to laugh about things that are recent or fresh. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Middle Several says, you should go to her place and apologize dressed up as a rat. And OP replies, I was thinking that if I dressed up as a raisin, it might go over better. And Temple Fugit says, this is an extremely tame prank, and if she was that quick to pack up and leave, maybe she was having second thoughts and was looking for an excuse to bail on your friend. And Serenity557 says, I think the issue is less of a prank and more of a, oh wait, this guy is talking bad about me behind my back to his friend. That's what upset her. But they've been dating for only a few months, I'm thinking 3 to 6 months, and it's fair to rethink moving in day one if it's already rocky. I wouldn't want to live with someone who, when they say, this freaks me out, it doesn't take it seriously, thinks it's dumb, or just brushes it aside, and I would personally assume that his friend was thinking that it was goofy and silly because he talked about it in that way. That's kind of the impression that I was getting here. It wasn't so much that she didn't have a sense of humor about it, it was that she felt like he was making fun of her. And Terrible Month 6929 says, I never understood people who decide to mess with people that they literally don't know at all. Was it a tame prank? Sure. If you did it to a friend, it would be funny. You'd probably both laugh about it. But you didn't do this to a friend or even really an acquaintance. You did this to a new girlfriend that you don't really know. Pretty much a stranger to you. And you didn't do it because you thought that they would find it funny. You did it because you thought upsetting her would be funny for you. Going out of your way to upset people that you barely know is just disrespectful and frankly weird. Honestly, this person really said it well.
Kind of my thoughts were.
They articulated it very well. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Cook Dinner After My Boyfriend Said That I Make Peasant Food? Well, I'm a 33-year-old female, and I've been dating my boyfriend, a 35-year-old male, for about a year. We recently moved in together, and since I work from home and really enjoy cooking, I've been the one making dinner most nights. I'm Asian, Chinese, and most of the dishes that I cook are things that I grew up eating. These are mainly simple Chinese meals like stir-fried vegetables, steamed fish, tomato, egg, kungri, etc. Basically, the stuff that my mom used to make for us growing up. Well, my boyfriend is from Philly and is used to totally different kinds of food. He's all about burgers, fried chicken, cheesesteaks, and heavy comfort foods. I've tried to meet him halfway. I'll make more baked wings, throw in some pasta nights, that kind of thing. But I've told him that Chinese food is just what I'm most comfortable with and would genuinely enjoy making and eating. And a few nights ago, I made tomato egg stir fry with rice and some sauteed bok choy. And he kind of picked at it and then sighed and said, I feel like I'm eating peasant food every night. I just stared at him. He tried to backtrack, saying that he didn't mean it that way, but the damage was done. I told him that if he thinks that my food is peasant food, then he can cook for himself from now on. Since then, I haven't cooked dinner at all. I've made myself stuff, but I don't make anything for him. He's been eating frozen meals and takeout and is now acting all mopey about it, saying that he didn't mean to insult my culture and that I'm overreacting. But honestly, that comment really hurt. The dishes are a part of who I am, and I cook with love. It's not about complexity or cost of ingredients. It's about connection and comfort. Am I the jerk for refusing to cook for him anymore? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. He can cook for himself if he doesn't like the food you're preparing.
I mean, also, like, peasant food?
Well,
He's
yeah.
calling, OP's food peasant food. I think that OP is doing a really nice job at providing nutritious, healthy meals for them. And I don't think that he appreciates that enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and like, who died and made him king?
Yeah.
Oh, this is peasant food. It's so beneath me. It's like,
Hmm.
again, if you don't like the food, then you can make your own, but don't insult your partner's cooking.
Yeah. And I just think it's really unfortunate. I'm wondering if this relationship is not going to make it. I don't think that this is going to really work out because it sounds like he is not going to be very open to new ideas and new tastes and stuff like that, right? And I think that OP, who really loves cooking and enjoys making food with love, is trying their best, and they're trying to even, compromise by making dishes that he likes, but he just doesn't appreciate it, and I don't think ever will appreciate it.
Yeah, well, if they're thinking about this long term, like what if they have kids?
Hmm.
Is he going to throw a fit if OP insists OP only feed them, Americanized food or?
Yeah, and that's the problem I have here. Just feels like things are gonna kind of degrade further from here. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And throwaway 1975764 says his preferred foods are definitely not high class choices. They might be white American standards, but they are definitely poor folk type of foods, which means he meant peasant food in a racist way. I think that you should refuse to date or even associate with this guy for not cooking, not the jerk. And MC Susie says, you don't compare tomato and egg cheesesteak and decide that one is peasant food and the other unless you're a racist. And Fog Honey says, not the jerk. He called your cultural comfort foods peasant food and now wonders why you're not playing personal chef anymore. Actions meet consequences. He can romance his hot pockets. And Discrepant Awareness says burgers, fried chicken, cheesesteaks, and heavy comfort food. These are peasant foods, just for the peasants of the consumer of capitalism. Also, your boyfriend is a picky eater, rude, and apparently can't feed himself. My dear friend, you are dating a 35-year-old child. And our next letter is titled, Fiancee, a 32-year-old male, is threatening to end our relationship because I, a 35-year-old female, drank wine with coworkers. Some background. Together 2 years and lived together for 1. I work at a small luxury resort that has a winery and vineyard. I've worked there for 2.5 years. Me and fiance do not drink a lot. I told my fiance a couple weeks ago that in the coming weeks, my workplace wanted my department to do a winery tour. It's newly renovated with new wine offerings because they want us to be familiar with the grounds and all the wines that we sell. I get to work today and I tell my fiance that I made it there and we exchange our I love yous. My department begins our wine tour around 2 p.m. It is me, my supervisor, and owner, and 2 coworkers. After learning about the harvesting and processing and all that, we tasted a few different wines. Around 3:15, there starts to be a very aggressive knocking noise on the door of the building that we're in. One of the men opened up and in storms my fiance, crazy-eyed and acting like we were on an episode of Cheaters. He clearly is fuming and starts asking why I don't have my phone on, and that he thought I had been trafficked or murdered. That my location was not my usual place at work. We share our locations on Life 360. Obviously, I'm mortified and embarrassed. He is saying that it shows that he cares and was genuinely worried something bad had happened. Now he is saying that he's upset that I was drinking without him and that we should never do that without each other. He feels betrayed and disrespected and even threatened to end our engagement. I think that it's absolutely ridiculous. It's not like he caught me at the bar with them and I was doing wine tasting at my workplace that serves wine. I'm looking for an outside perspective on the situation to see if maybe I was overreacting, or he is. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, you're definitely not overreacting here. What he is doing is not okay, and this feels very controlling.
Yeah.
And like, I can understand potentially, in theory, if he has a lot of anxiety issues, why he might be concerned if he saw your location had changed. But he should have, one, go to therapy for his anxiety because he can't be sabotaging your work. And two, like, when he saw you were okay, he should have just apologized and backed out of there. The fact that he's like now being like, I feel betrayed that you are drinking as part of your job with coworkers as part of your job. We should only drink together. This feels like it's a control thing. This doesn't feel like an, oh, I was legitimately like nervous you were kidnapped. This feels like you are not where I was expecting you to be. I think you're cheating. I am, like trying to catch you. I'm jealous. And like, he needs therapy and not to be getting married to anyone.
So the one quote that I kind of want to reread here is, I think that it's absolutely ridiculous. It's not like he caught me at a bar with them. I was doing wine tasting at my workplace that serves wine. There aren't many relationships that I know of where drinking at a bar with your friends would be considered like a deal breaker type of thing, right? And that's what kind of concerns me more and more when I read this story, is that OP kind of normalizes this as like, oh, I wasn't at a bar drinking with friends. You're allowed to hang out with friends and drink with your friends.
It's very common
right?
in a lot of workplaces to have social drinking events at bars.
Yeah.
And so that's why like this is screaming control red flag vibes to me.
Yeah.
Like, this is like his busting in there is like the huge escalation, but you're absolutely right. Like she's already normalized. Okay, well I can't drink at bars with my coworkers.
So, yeah, I think that there's a lot of red flags here. I don't think that this is a healthy relationship. The fact that he was sitting there monitoring her all day long, texting her, being like, blah, 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 when she told him where she was going to be anyways, right? I can understand his concern, his worry, but, I mean, you can assume that your spouse isn't going to be at their place of work every single day all the time, right? Like, I mean, sometimes it works out that way that some people, are at their building all the time, but in a lot of jobs, you have to go from, place to place and stuff like that, right? I don't know. Like, I just feel like this was a gross overreaction on his part. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Jadzy Rose says, this has so many red flags for me. The only time that I text my husband that I made it safely to work is if the road conditions are less than ideal. I also still text my mom when I get to work on those mornings as well. What is your typical workday hours? If you are at work, why is he checking on your location? What in the world? He sounds like he's controlling. You've also been working at this place longer than you've been dating and in a relationship with him. Don't let him threaten the end of the relationship. Just end it and find a man who's not going to control everything that you do under the guise of, this proves how much I care about you. This is controlling and abusive behavior that your fiancé is exhibiting. This will likely escalate and get worse as time goes on. He may even start saying that he thinks that you should find a different job, one that doesn't involve you going on wine tours and drinking around men without him. Throw away this one, OP, that's my advice. And OP replies, I'm typically off on Tuesdays, so I guess that's why I told him that I was at work to remind him that I was going in. It was specifically for the tour, so I wouldn't have been there more than 2 to 3 hours. He actually said exactly that about a different job and drinking around men. I mean, that person called it. That person called it. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why was the Southpaw the sole survivor of the shipwreck?
Oh, well, because us Southpaws were creative, and we definitely would not be, the first ones to go in shipwrecks. I mean, that's really just the reality of it. Like, we're going to be the ones to survive. Sorry, right-handed people.
Because they were the only one left.
That
and
they were.
Left-Handers Day. Happy Left-Handers Day, Brian.
A holiday I can get behind. And I have Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy wonderful Wednesday, Hump Day, Friday, Junior's Eve. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a haiku for Haiku Wednesday.
Peasant food, more like pleasant food. Make your own meal if you're that bothered.
I like it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!